Why do naturists never have pubic hair?
You can actually get penis socks as well.
Oh, they have them on film sets.
They knit them for the porn actors.
I present our first problem. Maria, you have an envelope.
I have. This is very authentic.
Oh no, what have I said?
We have solved the problems of the world.
Hello and welcome to our shiny new podcast, Wanging On, with myself, Graham. And look, it's Maria, reunited.
Hello, it's been so long. What's your name again?
I know, really. It has been a very long time. People who know us,
oh, yes, Graham.
Wanging On.
Yes.
Apparently they asked for this.
They did, in their droves. 5 or 6.
Yeah, and people who don't know us and are Wanging On.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yes, so we were on the radio for 13 years?
That is correct. That's an unlucky number, though, isn't it?
It is.
That's why we carried on.
Yes, this is now 14.
Once we've done 14, we're off again.
Yeah. So Radio 2 for 10 and then Virgin for 3.
Yeah.
And then stop. But we continue to want to wang on. Or people claim they wanted us to wang on. So we're doing it now. And it's essentially problem solving.
It's wanging on and then some problem solving and then a bit more wanging on. I mean, nothing much has changed, frankly.
No.
It's just us gossiping as we would, especially as I haven't seen you for quite a while.
Oh, hello, Raffi. We should say there's a dog here.
Yes, I had to bring my dog because my dog sitter has selfishly gone on holiday. I mean, really?
God. Raffi's the name of the dog. So if you see a small dog, we know it's here.
Flitting about the place.
Yeah. Do you feel at all qualified to give advice?
Well, I think the reason that I was brought in the first place all those years ago, back in the 1950s, was because you and I would love to go out for dinner or to a party or whatever, and then we would always do a sort of post-mortem.
Yes.
And that normally involved picking everyone apart, couples, how long we thought they'd got together before they split up, etc., etc. And kind of that was a pleasure. And we were both quite good at it. We would both do this at the end, of our discussion. It's like, yes, we have solved the problems of the world.
I have this thing where it makes my blood freeze.
Oh.
When somebody goes, I'll always remember what you told me.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
you always go, oh no, what have I said? I had 2 friends and they bought this really fancy penthouse apartment way in North London, right? And they were describing to me and I went, oh, how lovely. What a gorgeous view you must have of where you used to live. And they sold it.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, you have power because you're on the television as well, so people doubly believe what you say, whereas I know that most of it is a load of BS.
But do you like people taking your advice or do you feel terrible responsibility?
It's quite different. Raffi is just devouring a flapjack.
Raffi?
He's run off behind the set. Excellent. Interestingly...
Wanging On, coming live from Longleat Safari Park. oh, there he is. Where is he?
The flapjack is now gone. Yes, I was just about to tell you something very interesting there.
That was exciting.
Well, it kind of got our heartbeat going, didn't it?
I've got some advice. Don't bring your dog.
Yeah. I don't think I will anymore.
So over the years, Maria, of reading out all these letters from the Great British Public, what are the themes? What are the things that really bother people?
Well, people say to me there's only so many problems, and I think that's wrong. I think there are so many problems, there are loads of problems, and as the world changes, technology, AI, etc., so do the problems. But I think the most common one is that people don't communicate. The lack of communication. The more difficult the subject, the more we're prepared to put our head in the sand about it. What do you feel about that?
The big thing I've noticed about all the letters is often people don't really recognise what their problem is.
Can you remember one of those ones?
Well, in my head is a story my dog trainer told me. And so she got called out by a couple because their dog was jumping up on the kitchen counter and it was a real problem. Could she help? And so she went out and it was a thing of nothing to solve it. She just put some sticky tape on the counters. Dog didn't like it. Problem solved. 20 minutes.
So the sticky tape up, obviously.
Yeah, and then,
the dog
and then the dog didn't like it. 20 minutes, problem solved. The couple were so grateful, so grateful. And thank you so much for solving our problem. And she was, thrilled with herself.
Yeah.
And they're showing her out and they're at the front door and she notices in the front room, there's a mattress on the floor. And just to make conversation, she goes, oh, who sleeps in there? And the woman went, oh, we do. The dog doesn't let us go upstairs. But that wasn't their problem.
No.
That was just...
Oh, that's fabulous.
That was just their life.
I'm already thinking sticky tape on the stairs. That's got to be a way around it.
But I really think that is... We normalise so much weirdness in our life. And then there's one thing that tips us over the edge, and we write a letter about that.
That's where we sleep.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I want to go out to dinner with that couple. Because they'll be interesting, I'm sure. And their dog, obviously.
Well, quite an alpha dog. Hello.
Upstairs with a pipe,
Hello.
watching the television.
You're not an alpha dog, are you? No.
But yes, I think communication is one of the things. And as you say, not identifying the real problem,
yes.
but sending. So we have to do a little bit of reading through the lines.
We do. Now, here's the thing. So in this podcast, we'll be doing what we've always done, which is help solve problems. But we'll also be sharing help and guidance from you at home. Thank you very much.
Yes. If it sounds like exactly what you need, then please send your dilemmas to us. Our new address, remember this, is Wanging On at listen.co.uk. That was my dog barking. Wanging On at listen.co.uk. We'd love to hear from you. I'm really sorry about that. That
dog's days are numbered.
It really is, I'm afraid.
So send whatever your problems are. It could be friendship, quandaries, work dilemmas, family rows, anything you need a bit of advice on. But I would say to you, just keep your expectations low. Right, without further ado, I present our first problem. Maria, you have an envelope even.
I have. Look, this is very authentic, can I just tell you? And I am terribly impressed with the production team generally. Dear Graham and Maria, I have a real dilemma. This is quite long, by the way, Graham.
That's fine, we've got time.
If you want to have a little nod off.
No, that's fine.
I have a real dilemma.
Take the dog for a walk.
6 months ago, I met an amazing woman who was perfect for me in every way. After a couple of months of new relationship bliss, she took me home to meet her family. They couldn't have been more welcoming when I arrived, and I spent a lovely day playing football with the two brothers and her nieces and nephews. So far, so good. The problem started after everyone else left to go home, just leaving us with her parents for the evening. I went to have a shower, and when I came back downstairs, her father was sitting completely naked in an armchair watching the television. Perfect for me in every way. I was obviously a bit taken aback by this, and it was compounded by my girlfriend and her mum sitting on the sofa as if nothing was amiss.
But they had clothes on.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
I spent an uncomfortable couple of hours trying to join in the conversation without glancing in his direction before making my excuses and heading up to bed. When my girlfriend came up, I asked her what the hell was going on, and she said he feels more comfortable naked and he's done it for years. She also said I should take it as a compliment that he felt so relaxed around me. Oh, yeah. The next day, I woke early and headed downstairs to the kitchen, only to be confronted once again by a 70-year-old naked man asking me if I'd like my eggs scrambled. He then proceeded to have the, "What are your intentions with my daughter?" chat, while I wished my retinas could be burnt out. I was hoping he maybe wore an apron for making scrambled eggs. Flash forward 4 months and my girlfriend is pushing for us to stay with them for a week in a holiday cottage in Devon. Obviously, I don't want to lose her, but how can I explain that I don't want to watch the 1% Club with 99% of her father on show? Good joke there. And that's from Anonymous for obvious reasons in Sheffield. We will track you down, by the way, in Sheffield. If they're naturists, then the mum surely should have been sitting starkers as well. Because it seems kind of like, you know, if you're both naturists and that's what you've done for years and years and years, then so be it. But you would think you would tell someone. It's quite a passive-aggressive act, or maybe even aggressive-aggressive, not to warn someone that in a minute your meat and two veg will be on show while you're watching, you know, Countdown.
What was the girlfriend thinking?
Well, that's, I think, what he's not kind of...
Because it's like, you know, oh, it's his thing. No, model trains is a thing. Wandering around naked is not a thing. My initial thing is, look, it's his house. If he wants to sit there with no clothes on,
for sure,
knock yourself out.
For sure.
But equally, I think it's odd that the girlfriend didn't say anything.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like they were tricking him or trying to get a reaction from him, because to not tell someone that, oh, by the way, my dad is stark bollock naked.
Yeah,
you know?
just before you go in.
Yeah, just before you go in. Just a small thing. Well, could have been. So I think, they were all playing along with this to see what his reaction was. And it sounds like he passed that particular test by not reacting at all.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Good to not react. Now, the Devon thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, now how much worse can it get?
Well, you don't want to go, so don't go.
I know, but he's keen on this girl. But I would have gone off her for her not telling you that her dad was going to sit starkers.
Well, I always think when you're dating someone, parents are really interesting because sometimes if you're dating someone, you meet their parents and it makes you like the person you were dating less.
Yes, that's true.
And then sometimes you meet parents and it makes you like them more.
Yeah.
Because they're lovely. This would make me like her less.
Yeah, me too. But if you're really into someone and they're probably in that heady, we have sex all the time stage still, then he's probably really into her. But the other thing you could do, Anonymous, is join in. Take your clothes off and, but don't tell anybody you're going to do it. Yeah. I mean, that would be a good thing to do because that will shock them. Also, I've done it for ages. I was so pleased when you did it when we came round to watch the 1% Club because now I feel so much more relaxed.
But also, I'm thinking forward to their wedding day. Is Dad wearing something for the wedding day? You wanted your wedding pictures to be on show, not kind of blurred out.
Yeah, pixelated.
Pixelated wedding photographs. Look, I think this man is able to do whatever he wants in his own home.
In his own home.
And on his holiday in Devon.
Well, no, because that's not his own home. He's sharing that, isn't he?
But shouldn't the girlfriend at least acknowledge this is odd?
Yeah. You need to have a good long chat with your girlfriend and say, why didn't you tell me? I mean, you may have already done this, but you didn't put it in your letter, so we're a bit lost.
And also, I don't want to go on holidays with, your naked father. I'd like to go on holiday, but not with them.
I mean, it's strange though, isn't it, Graham? But I'm trying to be the other side of the coin now, that the naked body is so sexualized. But there's nature's way of stopping that, and that is once you get past a certain age. I'll get people telling me off for that. But, there's nice things to look at when you're a bit younger, but old testicles probably aren't one of them.
But also, I think once you grow out of nappies, you really shouldn't be naked again. I just, pop something on.
Or the naturist.
A tanga brief.
A tankini.
Oh, a tankini.
Yes, like Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yes. I mean, and also very hard to shop for this man for Christmas and things. It's a kind of a world of woe on the way.
I just think you keep buying socks. That's the only thing he's going to wear.
I know how cold your feet get.
And maybe you can actually get penis socks as well.
Oh, they have them on film sets.
Yeah,
they have them. Yeah,
they knit them for porn actors.
That's good of them.
Yeah, I know.
Those nuns are marvellous. So, listen, Anonymous in Sheffield, I think...
Are you telling him to go away to Devon?
Well, at least now he knows what to expect.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't want to spend whatever it is a week in that environment, then don't go and be upfront. Don't think of excuses. Don't think of it. Just say to your girlfriend, I really don't fancy spending a week with your dad naked. And and if she's shocked by that, well, so be it. The fact that she's not acknowledging that this is odd.
And that they sprung it on you does seem like, one of those jokes. You sure there wasn't a hidden camera, Anonymous?
I hope there... No, we don't want
to. Not trained on the naked one, but trained on his reaction.
Yes.
Doing, doing.
And Dex Stiley. Yeah. Now, over the coming weeks and months, we want to involve you, the listeners, in responses to these problems, because the more brains, the better. And Maria, any ideas? What should we call our listeners? Do you have a name for a collective noun? Huge wangers.
We're not talking about that last letter again, Graham. Huge wangers. I wish I'd have known about this, really, because I could have thought...
Wangers on?
Wangers on. Hanging, wanging. No, I'm just...
Yes, I see what you mean.
Yeah,
you should have thought about this.
I'm just...
Hanging, wanging.
I'm just kind
let's call them that.
Word association. Well, what have you got?
Wangers.
Wangers.
The Wangers. The Wangers have responded.
Yes, okay.
Should we go with Wangers till somebody comes up with something better?
Yeah.
I mean, people can't get in touch.
Please come up with something better.
Now, excitingly, Maria, our listeners / wangers, they have responses. They are dedicated wangers. And what they've done is they've emailed in. So if anybody wants to become a dedicated wanger, email wangingon@listen.co.uk and you'll be part of a special gang. Let's find out what the listeners, possibly wangers, have to say about this, our first dilemma. Do you want to read the first one?
I do, yes. And this is from Sean in London, who agrees with us, really. He says, it would have been nice for the girlfriend to let the boyfriend know that her dad is a keen naturist in the first instance, so it didn't come as such a shock. I would still go on the holiday, says Sean. However, look at booking your own lodge to give you a bit more privacy and space for yourselves.
Well, then just go on your own holiday, I would say, if you're booking a lodge anyway.
I've really gone off the father, actually, for his passive act.
Well,
passive penis act, frankly.
Well, it's one thing, isn't it? He's that kind of uncompromising thing. It's kind of deliberate, and it's to distance people.
Yeah.
So, it's a deliberate way of driving people away.
It is.
Yeah.
Or getting a reaction. It's a bit... No, it's not like a flasher at all. But in this particular instance, it was because he wasn't warned. Anyway, Lou in Perth says, this is unreasonable and unexpected behaviour. He may be comfortable, but you're not. I would tell your girlfriend you feel uncomfortable about her nudie father.
Oh, that's a great word, isn't it?
Nudie.
Nudie.
Yeah.
Nudie.
He's a wee nudist. She should understand. Also, maybe don't go on the holiday if you're not comfortable, as it seems this is normal for them. Although the mum doesn't seem to do it.
Well,
maybe she does on holiday. Maybe she was saving herself.
Till she got some tan. We have a voice note.
Oh.
This is an innovation.
This is something we're not used to, Graham.
We've got a voice note.
Oh, my goodness.
It's from someone called James. Listen to his voice now.
Okay.
First off, this dad is sounding exactly like the dad in Friday Night Dinner, who always had his shirt off, but I guess it's dialed up a little bit in this instance. Okay, so I reckon you either lean into it and go full naturist as well, or try and reschedule for the winter and then subtly try and mess with the heating to make sure it's cold enough that he has to stay fully clothed.
I like that, James.
That's not a bad idea. I think naturists, though, they have a way around that. If you go down to Brighton, to that nude beach, there are people there in the middle of winter, but they wear hats, gloves, socks, things like that. Apparently this bit, they don't lose any heat. Also, why do naturists never have pubic hair? Have you noticed that?
I haven't noticed because I haven't looked at very many.
Well, when you go abroad, as they say, when you go abroad to that there France and things, and you're on a beach where people have no clothes on, never a whiff of pubic hair.
Oh.
It's very odd.
But I thought that sort of...
Because you can think a naturist would want to be as nature intended.
Yes, indeed. But no, it's all about the aesthetic, isn't it? I mean, I have been on nudie beaches, that is true.
Yeah.
But then I always find it's just a little kind of off-putting. I chat to somebody and then they get up and there's dangling things.
Yeah, it turns out no one looks good naked.
No, I mean...
Nobody.
They're odd bits, frankly. All the bits that are sexually...
Yeah, they've been sitting on a rattan chair. I mean, you don't want it. Anonymous in Sheffield, I do hope we helped. I doubt we have. And good luck with your problem. We will have letter number 2 coming up shortly. Maria,
very good.
It's time. It is time for our second letter.
Yes, I know. How quickly has that time gone? Okay, I've got another...
Oh, you've got to open it now.
I've got a lot of things to do, Graham.
The admin is enormous.
I never had this at the BBC. Here we go. Right. Letter number 2. Short one.
Oh, yes.
Try and stay awake.
Uh-huh.
Dear Graham and Maria, a few years ago, I started saving £50 a month for each of my grandchildren. When it started building up, I decided to round all 3 pots up to £10,000 each and then put it in a bond to get a higher interest. The twin boys...
Does she think we're Martin Lewis?
I know, really. I think this has been redirected. I'm already adding things up in my head, Graham, and panicking. So the twin boys are now 20 and the girl is 17.
Okay.
Hopefully their respective pots are growing monthly. Because she's put it into a bond to get a higher interest.
I don't know.
You get higher interest, Graham. You should know this. Okay, what she's asking, this is Angie in London.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Angie in London is asking, what age do you think I should actually hand it over? The thing is, I don't want them to spunk it on a rave weekend in Ibiza.
Bump into Angie.
I'm thinking that Angie is a nice grandma. Now she's just said I don't want them to spunk it.
On a rave weekend in Ibiza.
Yeah. They already have cars. 17 and 20, they already have cars and none of them are going to uni. So it's just sitting there in the higher bond to get more interest.
Of course.
She says, suggestions, please, Angie in London.
Well, look, Angie in London, you may not want them to, spunk it on something, but when you give people money, you can't give it with stipulations. You can't give it, I'm giving you however much money is accrued now, but I want you to spend it on something sensible. No, you give them the money and then that's it. And once it's gone, it's gone. So, Granny paid for this stupid coat or Granny paid for a new kitchen. We don't know. But Granny cannot dictate what the money is spent on. And it doesn't really matter how old somebody is. I suppose you could wait till one of them's getting married or something.
I mean, I feel, Graham, that it's probably burning more of a hole in Angie's pocket because she wants to give this away. I would say they are at the stage at the moment where they do want to spunk it in Ibiza, your words, not mine, Angie, or spend it on something stupid. Now, when they're a bit older and settling down, I mean, leave it in the high bond interest for now.
Very wise.
There's no real rush. It's burning a hole in your pocket, but they've got cars. 17 and 20, and they've got cars and things already.
Yeah.
So they're not in need, but at some point, probably when they want to kind of, move into a flat or something like that, there'll be a time when they could really do with, it'll be 20,000 by then, Angie.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's a good idea. Whenever any of them is looking for a deposit on a flat, then you cough it up. I mean, the thing is, Angie, they will never be as grateful as you want them to be.
No, of course not.
It'll just be thanks. Oh, good.
Oh, that's great.
And once the first one gets their bit for the deposit, the others will come sniffing around. Granny, can I have my money now?
I like the notion of...
Yeah. What? There's some pounds in here.
Ruffle pigs looking for money. The other thing is, if you wait a little while, maybe you'll fall out with all three of them and then you can go and spunk it on a cruise for yourself.
I don't think Angie's going on a cruise.
No.
She's not that sort of granny.
Well, we don't know. She spunks in Ibiza.
I feel she's about 50.
I don't know what Angie's about, frankly. But I think you're right. They'll never be as grateful
as she wants them to be. The trouble is, this is one of those good deeds that is always going to come back
unpunished. No good deed goes unpunished.
And this will be the punishment because they won't be grateful enough. You'll resent them for not, and then you'll fall out with your kids, the parents.
Yeah, the parents of these, because they've raised ungrateful children.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Don't give it to them yet. Hold on to it. You'll fall out with everyone soon, and then you can spend it on yourself.
Oh, lovely. Now,
that's a lot of money there. 30,000. By then, obviously, Angie, it'll be 60,000. You can get yourself a toy boy, buy yourself a little place in Ibiza.
Yes, the kids don't know this money's coming, so they'll never know they didn't get it.
I think Angie has already told their parents, though.
Oh, has she?
Yeah, because when you do things like that, I'm putting away money. I'm doing Angie's voice like she's a little old lady. Yeah. I'm putting away £50 a month for the children.
That's a lot.
Oh, thanks, Mum. That's really nice.
I would imagine like 150 quid a month for all those years.
Well, she owns her own house. Angie owns her own house. So, what she used to pay the mortgage with, she's now putting away for the kids.
Of course, very wise.
Yeah. I've thought this through, Graham.
Yeah.
For once.
Maria Lewis. I'm sure our listeners /wangers will have something to say about this. We've got some responses. Maria, do you want to read some of these?
Okay, this is Lisa. In regard to this dilemma, I did similar with my kids. I saved until they both had a substantial amount, and each has since bought a car and paid their insurance with the funds they had saved. My dad always used to say, with money, you want to see them enjoy it. You can't take it with you when you go. There's no pockets in shrouds.
I wonder how often her dad said that.
Yeah, I wonder. As my dad used to say.
He always used to say it.
So if they want to spend it on a rave, then let them do it. Life is too short. Well, you're right when you say you can't.
Well, I honestly do think, Angie, if you're going to give them this money, give it to them.
Yeah.
Because
you can't be prescriptive about what they buy.
They can spend it on stuffed toys. It really doesn't matter.
On sweets. I like the notion of spending £10,000 on squashes.
Yeah, I'm now a diabetic. Thanks, Gran.
Morgan has a lot to say.
Oh, dear.
I'd say the money is theirs, as you've been saving it for them. It's a gift. In the same way that you wouldn't give most gifts, then tell someone how to use it, or that it came with conditions,
yes,
what we've just said. They are your grandchildren, so just hope that they've been raised right, and that, this is where the fallout comes, and that they have some sense to do something sensible or keep it saved. Also, what is sensible? Too many sensibles. And a dream for them may be ridiculous to you.
True dat.
True dat. Different generations have different goals. If they want to use it on a worldwide trip, be grateful if you got to help a dream come true. If they blow it, what can you do? But shake your head and hope they learn from it. Oh, my God.
They won't learn from it.
No. I mean, this is such a difficult one. I really do think hold on to it. But anyway.
So I guess Angie, as, the options are spend it on herself. You seem very keen on that.
Yeah, I do.
Or give it to them whenever, because it will never please you enough, Angie. Angie will never be pleased enough with the response and never think what they've spent it on is good enough.
No, exactly. And they've already got cars. So, I mean, they're not suffering, shall we say. So, Angie, I would say just hold on to it for now, because it is in that interest bond that will double very shortly.
Give it all to charity, then tell them it was meant to be theirs and watch their faces.
Or buy them donkeys.
Oh, that is priceless. For everything else is MasterCard. That would be great.
No, don't do that, Angie. Don't do that. I think just hold on to it for now. That's all. They're still quite young, and there will come a time when they want somewhere to live. And by then, a small shoebox in a very, very poor part of town will cost £4 million.
Charity, Angie. That's all I'm saying, charity. Thank you for your letter, and thanks to everyone for your responses. And of course, if you'd like help with any problem, large or small, do email us. wangingon@listen.co.uk. Somebody's called, yes.
You are good at remembering things.
Remember that.
I still haven't got that in my head.
You might want to use that address if you want to take part in our new segment.
Another one. You are spoiling us.
I know. This one's called Am I Weird? And it's coming up next. Now, to finish the pod each week, we pose this question, am I weird? It's basically a kind of safe-ish space for you to tell us something odd about yourself that, maybe an activity you do, something that just raises eyebrows.
Yeah.
And we will decide whether it's weird or acceptable.
Yeah.
We be the judge.
Yeah, we will be.
Just a bit of fun, eh? Just a bit of fun.
I'm already thinking the things that I do that's weird, and I'm thinking I wouldn't want to share them. You?
I'm not sharing anything. No, I'm sitting here judging. That's what I'm doing.
Okay, here comes the first one, and it comes courtesy of Fee in St Andrews. That's in Scotland. Hi, Graham and Maria. Am I weird that I have an extensive wardrobe for my dog? Nothing too outlandish, just lots of different options for jackets and then a few themed options. He's a Westie and he looks naked without having something on every day.
I wish Fee was weird. I wish she was weird, but I don't think she is.
No, I think there are a lot of people like you. I mean, I don't do outfits for dogs.
You have?
For a joke, I think I put a Santa Claus outfit on one of my dogs, but then
I seem to remember a tutu.
That was also on a boy dog that I was trying to turn gay. And that didn't work. But I do think that, I don't know, the term get a life is going around my head. And also they have clothes, that fur stuff that they have or hair that they have. They are their clothes.
Like, we live in a temperate climate.
We do.
Sometimes in somewhere like New York, where it gets really, really cold, and they salt the pavements.
And then you put little shoes on.
You do have to put little shoes on. The salt gets into the dog pads, and it's bad. But in this country, there's never any... people... You tell they love it.
Yeah.
If the clouds come over, it's grey for a second. Suddenly, some poor dog is wearing a padded, Burberry
jacket.
coat.
I know.
Wondering, what? Why am I wearing this? Why am I doing it? So I get it, Fee. The Westie looks adorable.
Well, I mean, you do it for other people. You don't do it for the dog.
No, the dog
just
really does.
Don't fool yourself on that, because sometimes people say to me, oh no, he won't go out without his clothes on. And you think, what? That's a bit like the dog with the sticky paws that won't let the people go upstairs. He won't go out with any clothes on. No, you're imposing your views.
Yeah, because try putting shoes on a dog for the first time.
Oh, they don't like it.
They really don't like it.
You're not weird, but at some point you might want to maybe open your wings a little bit and fly into the real world. Do you think
I've got angel wings for my dog.
Adorable.
No, they're lovely.
That dog looks so cute.
Christmas angel. Oh, look. Yeah, look, the dog isn't thanking you for any of this. But except the dog probably does enjoy the attention.
But dogs will get attention anyway. I mean, dogs are just cute. And people always say, oh, can I pet your dog? Whether it's naked, going back to our first problem, or clothed, in a three-piece suit and a bowler hat.
So, reluctantly, I think, Fee, we are saying you are not weird.
Soz.
Yeah, okay. With that, we reached the end of our first edition of our brand new podcast, Wanging On.
Thank you. We should just stress, we are not experts.
Yes.
I mean, I can't believe I'm having to say that on anything at all. And if you need genuine help with any of the problems we've discussed today, then you should seek it out in the proper channels. There's more on our Instagram at Wanging On.
But remember, if you do want us to debate your problem, it's easy. Just email us, wangingon@listen.co.uk. We're here and happy to help.
Yes, and Wanging On with Graham and Maria is a Listen production.
And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.